Royal Decree Nisi, and it goes like this. It's to do with royal marriages. As you can see, we have a King of Hearts and a Queen of Hearts, King of Diamonds and the Queen of Diamonds, King of Clubs and the Queen of Clubs. And you've probably read in the press recently that the royal marriages are not exactly the world's greatest, but I'm going to show you something which might help them. This is called a marriage guidance card. That's why it has MGC at the top, and also some directions for the cards to take to sort themselves out. We'll get back to this in a few moments. As you can see at the moment, the cards are happily married, but perhaps you'd like to rearrange them so that no two cards are with their partners. For example, you could put the King of Clubs with the Queen of Diamonds and so on, but that so no two are together. So would you just take the cards and rearrange them?
Yeah, okay.
That's fine, that's great. If you could, yes, that's excellent. So no two are now together. Right, and perhaps you'd also like to move them around in the duos. For example, you could place this one in the middle and change places with that one, in other words. So just move the packets around.
Okay.
You just want to move those two. You're happy with those two?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I'm going to try and show you how the marriage guidance card actually works. I'll just put it over here for the moment. It should help them to solve their marriages. For example, if I just separate the cards out now into pairs so you can see them a little better, you can see that if we have a look at the marriage guidance card, it's telling us to place the card here into the centre top position. So if we place this card here into the centre top position, and then it's telling us to place the middle card down here over to this side. So I'll place the middle card down here over to this side, and finally it tells us to take this card, take it all the way around and place it onto this card, which is over here. So as you can see, in a roundabout way, I don't know exactly how it's done it, it's placed the King of Clubs with the Queen of Clubs, the King of Hearts with the Queen of Hearts, and the King of Diamonds with the Queen of Diamonds. It seems to have negated all your efforts to separate those cards. But perhaps you'd like to try it one more time and mix them again if you like.
Okay.
That's fine. In actual fact, there are 720 possibilities of these rearrangements, but again, mix the packets as well. It's a slightly more complicated rearrangement, but it should still have the same effect. For example, if I separate the cards out again so you can see them slightly better in the pairs, you've got the King of Diamonds with the Queen of Hearts, King of Clubs with the Queen of Diamonds, and the King of Hearts with the Queen of Clubs. But by following the explanations on this card, by moving this card over to the middle one here, it puts the King of Diamonds with the Queen of Diamonds. By putting the middle one here over to this side, it puts the King of Clubs with the Queen of Clubs, and finally the King of Hearts travels all the way around back onto the Queen of Hearts. It's solved it yet again. Now you're probably thinking this works every time, but if we take a look at the marriage guidance card, you can see that there's an on and an off button on the card. If I just turn it off for a moment, and we'll do exactly the same thing again, just to prove that it does actually work. So once again, would you like to rearrange those cards?
Okay.
That's fine. And again, if you want to mix the package, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah, I will.
You want to mix them?
Yeah, I will. That would be fine.
You happy with that?
Yeah.
Great. Okay, well, this time we've actually turned the card off, so in theory it shouldn't actually work, but if I separate the cards again so you can see them, and we actually follow the directions on the card, it tells us to put this card over into the middle, but of course because it's turned off, the King of Clubs is now going on to the Queen of Hearts. This card's going over onto this card, which of course puts the King of Diamonds onto the Queen of Clubs because it's turned off, and finally we end up in a real hotspot situation like so. So as you can see, the cards are well mixed again. I'll turn it back on again for the moment, and I'll show you the final experiment. So once again, we'll put them back together again where they should be. So that's King of Diamonds with the Queen of Diamonds, King of Hearts with the Queen of Hearts, King of Clubs with the Queen of Clubs. And I'd like to, for a final time, would you mix the cards?
Yeah, okay. There you go.
You're happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this time you put the King of Clubs with the Queen of Clubs and so on. Now, it's actually a fact it's possible to sort these cards out without even touching the cards. All I have to do is press the divorce button on the card here. This is a divorce button, and that should do the job. As you can see, they're now sorted out. The Queen of Diamonds is with the King of Clubs, the Queen of Hearts is with the King of Diamonds, and the Queen of Clubs is with the King of Hearts. It doesn't look as if they have been sorted out, but because we've divorced the cards, they found new partners with whom they have more in common. For example, these two cards happen to be blue-backed cards. The two centre cards happen to be black-backed cards, and the final two cards just happen to be red-backed cards. So they have found new partners with which they have a lot in common. Thank you.